Most of the stress people experience in life does not come from the events themselves, but from the constant mental pressure they place around those events. From an early age, we are taught to care deeply about outcomes, approval, expectations. We are encouraged to perform well, behave correctly, and be seen positively by others. Over time, this conditioning trains the mind to believe that safety and worth depend on external validation. Caring, which once meant being present and attentive, slowly turns into anxiety and control. As this habit develops, the mind begins to overfunction. You replay conversations, anticipate problems that have not happened, and imagine negative outcomes before they exist. Every choice feels heavy because you are not just choosing an action, you are choosing how you might be judged. You worry about saying the wrong thing, making the wrong move, or missing the right opportunity. Life stops feeling like something you live and starts feeling like something you manage. The deeper issue is attachment. When you care too much, you attach your inner peace to things outside your control. You tie your emotional stability to how people respond, how situations unfold, and whether life meets your expectations. When reality does not cooperate, tension appears. Frustration, disappointment, and self-doubt follow. The tighter you hold on, the more resistance you create inside yourself. This excessive caring also creates fear of failure. Because outcomes matter so much, mistakes feel threatening rather than instructional. You become cautious, hesitant, and overly self-aware. Instead of moving forward naturally, you calculate every step. This constant self-monitoring drains energy and creates inner fatigue. Even small challenges feel overwhelming because your nervous system is always on alert. Another hidden cost of caring too much is the loss of presence. When your mind is focused on future results or past regrets, you are rarely fully here. Moments pass without being felt. Conversations lose depth. Simple experiences no longer bring ease because your attention is divided. You may appear functional on the outside, but internally you feel restless and unsatisfied, as if something is always missing. Caring too much also feeds the illusion that you are in control of life's flow. You believe that if you think enough, plan enough, and worry enough, you can prevent pain and guarantee success. But life does not move according to mental effort alone. It unfolds through uncertainty, timing, and forces beyond personal control. When you resist this reality, stress becomes constant. Understanding this is the first shift. The problem is not that you care, the problem is how tightly you care. When caring turns into attachment, pressure replaces peace. And until this attachment is seen clearly, life continues to feel heavy, complicated, and strained. Letting go begins not with action, but with awareness of how much unnecessary weight the mind is carrying. Stopping caring is often misunderstood because the phrase itself sounds negative. Many people assume it means giving up, becoming lazy, or losing responsibility. But true detachment has nothing to do with neglect. It is about changing your relationship with outcomes. You still show up, you still put in effort, and you still act with intention, but you are no longer emotionally chained to how things turn out. This single shift transforms how life feels. When you release attachment to results, your actions become lighter. Instead of acting from tension, you act from clarity. You do what needs to be done without the constant inner pressure of needing a specific outcome to feel okay. This reduces resistance. Resistance is what creates struggle. When you fight reality or demand that it behave a certain way, stress follows. When you allow life to move while staying present in your effort, things begin to align more naturally. Detachment also changes how you respond to challenges. When you care too much, obstacles feel personal. A delay feels like failure. A mistake feels like proof that something is wrong with you. But when you stop clinging to outcomes, challenges become information rather than threats. You adapt instead of panic. You learn instead of judge. This mental flexibility allows you to move forward with greater ease and confidence. Another powerful effect of letting go is emotional stability. When your happiness depends on external success, your mood rises and falls constantly. One good moment lifts you, one setback pulls you down. Detachment creates balance. You remain steady whether things go well or not. This steadiness is not indifference, it is inner strength. It allows you to stay calm in situations that once overwhelmed you. When you stop obsessing over results, your intuition becomes clearer. The mind quiets down and you begin to sense the right timing for action. You stop forcing decisions and start trusting your natural rhythm. This is why life begins to feel as if it flows. Opportunities show up because you are no longer blocking them with tension. People respond differently because your energy is relaxed rather than desperate. Letting go also improves focus. Instead of scattering your attention across worries and expectations, you place it fully on the present moment. You become more effective because your energy is concentrated. Ironically, this often leads to better outcomes than before, even though you care less about controlling them. Success tends to arrive when it is not being chased with fear. Stopping caring in this way is not withdrawal from life. It is deeper participation without resistance. You are still engaged, but you are not consumed. You act, you adjust, and you move on. This is the beginning of living in flow, where effort and ease coexist, and life starts unfolding with far less struggle. One of the most noticeable changes that occurs when you stop caring in the unheld highway is the shift in how you relate to other people. Much of human behavior is shaped by the need for approval. From an early age, we learn to adjust ourselves to fit in, to be liked, and to avoid rejection. Over time, this creates a habit of constantly monitoring how we are perceived. When you stop caring about others' opinions, this habit begins to loosen, and a quiet sense of freedom takes its place. This freedom does not come from rebellion or indifference. It comes from self-trust. You begin to act according to your own values rather than external expectations. You speak when something matters to you, and you stay silent when it does not. You no longer perform for acceptance. As a result, your actions feel more natural and less forced. There is less internal conflict because you are no longer divided between who you are and who you think you should be. As approval loses its grip, confidence grows. This confidence is not loud or attention-seeking. It is steady and calm. You stop explaining yourself unnecessarily. You stop defending choices that feel right to you. When someone disagrees or misunderstands you, it no longer shakes your foundation. Their reaction becomes information, not a verdict on your worth. This emotional independence creates clarity in your decisions and peace in your relationships. Another important shift is the reduction of fear. When you stop caring excessively about how you are seen, the fear of judgment weakens. You take more honest risks. You express ideas without overthinking. You allow yourself to be imperfect. Mistakes no longer threaten your identity. They become part of growth rather than evidence of failure. This openness allows life to move through you without obstruction. Letting go of others' opinions also reshapes your connections. Some relationships become deeper and more authentic. People who resonate with your true self feel closer to you. At the same time, some connections fade. This can feel uncomfortable at first, but it is a natural correction. Relationships built on performance and people-pleasing cannot survive authenticity. What remains is simpler, lighter, and more real. You also begin to notice how much energy was previously spent on comparison. When you stop measuring yourself against others, you free up attention for your own path. Your goals become clear because they are no longer borrowed from society's expectations. You move at your own pace without the constant pressure to keep up. This creates a sense of inner alignment. that is deeply calming. Ultimately, stopping caring about opinions is not about isolation. It is about choosing internal approval over external validation. When you trust yourself, life opens in subtle ways. Your actions feel aligned, your words feel true, and in this authenticity, you experience a form of freedom that allows life to flow more naturally without constant resistance or self-doubt. When caring loosens its grip, something subtle but profound begins to happen. And life no longer feels like a constant struggle against resistance. Instead of forcing outcomes, you begin to move with events as they unfold. This is what it truly means for life to flow naturally. Flow is not the absence of effort, it is effort without inner tension. You are still involved, still engaged, but no longer fighting reality at every turn. One of the clearest signs of this shift is trust. You stop trying to control timing, people, and circumstances that were never fully in your hands to begin with. You learn to trust the process of life, even when it is uncertain. This trust reduces urgency. You no longer feel the need to rush decisions or push situations to resolve immediately. Patience arises naturally because you understand that forcing rarely produces lasting results. As this trust deepens, opportunities appear in unexpected ways. When you are not desperate for outcomes, your awareness expands. You notice possibilities that were previously hidden by anxiety and fixation. Conversations unfold more easily. Ideas connect without strain. Relationships develop without pressure. Life responds differently when you are relaxed rather than tense. This is not coincidence. It is the natural result of aligned energy and attention. Another important change is the return of inner peace. When you stop attaching your happiness to specific results, peace becomes less fragile. You are no longer emotionally dependent on success, approval, or certainty. Even when things do not go as planned, you remain grounded. This inner stability becomes your anchor. You experience challenges without being consumed by them, and setbacks without losing direction. Letting go also simplifies life. You stop overloading yourself with unnecessary expectations. You focus on what truly matters rather than what demands constant validation. Decisions become clearer because they are guided by values instead of fear. You act with intention and then release the need to control the outcome. This simplicity brings relief. Life feels less crowded, both mentally and emotionally. Importantly, flowing with life does not mean passivity. You still take action, but your actions are responsive rather than reactive. You adjust when needed instead of resisting change. This adaptability allows you to move through transitions with greater ease. You are not stuck in rigid plans or fixed identities. You remain open, flexible, and present. In this state, you begin to experience alignment. Your thoughts, actions, and values move in the same direction. You are no longer divided by inner conflict. This alignment creates a sense of quiet fulfillment. You feel connected to your path without needing to control every step. When you stop caring in the unhealthy way, you stop blocking life's natural movement, and in that openness, life flows not because you force it, but because you finally allow it to